What's good, YouTube? RuneXYGO here at season 50, and we made Masters. And as always, I'd like to show off the replays, or my notable and favorite replays for the season. We made it pretty quickly. I was a bit busy for the month of February. However, it was a pretty smooth sailings even with the new deck like K9 out. It does make the deck that I played, of course, it's still Yummy Mitsurugi. Very much no changes. I will link the deck in the description because I have a feeling it's gonna change once. There's no way Mitsurugi is not gonna get hit. Either way, for the rest of the season, I'm obviously gonna try to get as high as I can. Rack up them gems and enjoy the rest of the season. I was not able to make Masters 1. I dropped so hard, but I'm glad to just be in Masters. So just to show off the deck real quick, no changes whatsoever. The only thing is because Maxi went down, we just bumped up Droll and Lockup to 2, and that's a good call, especially against K9. I have so many replays with K9, and really, once if Droll and Lock resolves, it was likely I was gonna win. But I have some interesting games where Droll and Lock does not resolve, or I didn't have it in opening hand, and we had a really good scrap and a good skirmish. So I enjoyed it. The one thing I really hate, I know you should probably be playing 3 pre-prep rights, but the thing is, you do not know how many times I had this in my opening hand. I at least had it like 5 times within grinding up to Masters, and it was so annoying. It was basically a dead card. But it when it pops, it does really do well. But either way, this is Yummy Mitsurugi. In my opinion, still, it is the best variant of all the Yummies because it is very versatile. Of course, its weakness is it could brick, but it pushes going second. It can bait out hand traps with the Mitsurugi engine, or vice versa if you want to do the Yummy to get abated. It's pretty resilient to hand traps. Like for example, if you get Droll and locked, you could still somewhat play if you have both engines, of course. But again, I had no changes. The extra deck is the exact same as it was last season, and it is pretty much perfect. I absolutely still love Link Spider. It saved me a few times. Almirage is really great. So yeah, it's a pretty tight deck, but we'll see how things will change, whether or not like Herald will leave. Even if Herald leaves, I'm pretty sure the deck is still very strong. We'll just have to roll with the punches once like something like Habakiri gets gutted or banned or so. But we'll just see. Without further ado, let's get to replays. So for the first game, and probably my favorite game of the entire series, is against the newest deck, and probably the best deck for the meta right now, K9 Vanquish Soul. They're a really strong deck. It shows off how they can really play through interruption, especially with the hand that I have now. I go full combo with them, and they go through almost all my interactions. And the reason I want to show off this replay is because I get to show off how in depth, not just like a one card combo and then they just quit, but really to show how you go through all your combos and interruptions and just keep interrupting your opponent until you win. Again, Yummy Mitsurugi is probably my favorite deck because of how much layered interruptions it has. It it's strong going second. It could just push through a lot of interruption, and you could just like normal summon a Yummy. But for this, we start off by trying to get a bait with pre-preparation rights. Getting these 2 cards is just broken because you just go full Mitsurugi. We all know this. We get Saji just to get prayers. The reason we go for prayers here is because we already have ritual, and we could easily just go into Murakumo like that, and then Mitsurugi gets us ritual. Now we just ritual to send away and just get more gas. Easily just able to go through all the Mitsurugi cards Now, if you're wondering why I don't get another prayers, is just because Kusanagi will eventually get it. But this bridges us now into Yummy. Not even explaining, I'm sure we all know Kagari gets us the drones gets us our Yummy way, getting us Yummy and Marshmallow, discarding prayers. We discard prayers because we will just normal summon Kusanagi to get prayers back. Linking into Sorrow Cat, linking into Arclight, getting Marshmallow to get back the surprise. Tsunachi getting us the field spell gets us any Yummy. Going into Lollipo, getting 2 more. Linking into Elf. Going into Yummy, getting our prayers back. Linking into IP. And setting. So, this is a really strong full combo, uninterrupted. We have 2 Omni Negates, 2 bounces from Surprise, IP to SP banishments, Murakumo Negate / Regeki, the Yummy to Book of Eclipse, that's 11, and then Maxi for 12, and Lollipo for the banishment from the graveyard. So that's 13 interruptions. We could also do Cookie if you want to count that. 14 interruptions right there. Our opponent has to play through. And they almost break my board. So they start off by imperming the Yummy, which is fine because these are protected. It's good though because we could easily just use this as fodder for IP. So we get Lollipo here. Then they case for K9. I just send right away the Arclight because I want Maxi online. And we're trying to interrupt them from the cards in their hand now, is my mindset. So Herald gets us back our mirror for follow-up. They try to Jokul, so I want to Purifications and basically break a card in their hand. Having them 1 less card means they have to play through with 3 cards. 2 since we already know what that 1 card was. Now they Lantern. I want to make them discard a card right away, and since they are going to discard, I'm banking on it, Maxi. I don't want them to have a board, so we IP away the Yummy way since it's negated. We Maxi. They discard their Murakumo. Oh, a Droll and Lock is crazy, so we banish. And I banish the 2 cards, so then they're literally only playing with 1 card. Well, 2, since they're gonna add. And because the case of K9 was, I believe, negated, we Droll and Lock them. They almost play through this, which is crazy. And using Yummy Way to get me a Snatchy. And Yummy. Battle phase, they main phase, and end phase. So a great thing we can do here, we just link into Lollipo, and then link into Baron. Baron trying to pop the set card, and then Elf to just bring back Lollipo. Then Sorrow Cat to send back Herald. Battle phase. Attack. It's pretty nasty what I do here, because after this, we just negate. Now, the reason we are very hasty to negate here, if you're wondering, is because we're just gonna send it back. After we link, go back into Herald 1 more time, set 1, and then we just bring back Murakumo. What's cool about this is we can just easily for next turn follow up and bring back the Baron. That's the reason I like this replay, is to show off why Elf is necessary in Yummy Mitsurugi, is because of this by itself. You can easily keep resummoning Baron negating something, and that's all said and done. Again, I wanted to show off this game because this shows the layered interruption it can spit out. Yummy Mitsurugi still bring out Baron like that, which is pretty nasty if I say so myself. On to the next replay. Now for this duel, we are showing this off, and why I like it is because this is basically a one card starter, assuming the 4 cards are bricks. We're fighting against tier limits, and I believe it was what a K9 tier limit. I forget, but it was definitely a tier limit variant, and we essentially go full combo here. And showing off just a typical combo, you always send Saji to get us our ritual to get negated. The highlight for this replay is to show why I personally believe it's necessary to play more than one Mitsurugi Saji, because some people just play the one Saji to have brick less, but I play basically all 3: Saji, Kusanagi, and I play the searcher. I forget his name, but yeah, look at this. We prayers to get Kusanagi. Without Kusanagi, this wouldn't have been possible. I just get back ritual as if nothing happened. And we just send Murakumo for Habikiri to get Mirror. And then Mirror to basically summon both rituals, so their summoning conditions have been met. And then Mitsurugi to get us prayers for next turn. Linking the two, and this is the bridge now. Camila to Yummy. Choke point. Going the Kagari. We all know this. Kagari for Hornet. Hornet to token into Synchro Yummy away. Getting Cupsy and Marshmallow. Discarding Droll. Now, that's debatable. I should have probably maybe sent Ash, but yeah, Droll, it worked out. I still won, but the point is, maybe Ash would have been better. Getting Surprise, Marshmallow to Special, going into Sorrow Cat into Herald, Yummy Surprise to get back Marshmallow to get back Surprise back to hand, linking into Snatchy for Field Spell for any Yummy, into Lollipo, 2 cards, link the 2, it's Elf brings back Yummy, linking into IP, setting 3 and passing. Typically, this is the end board that you will always get uninterrupted, and this is about 12 to 13 interruptions, depending on how far you can play. So, just to explain it again, we have 2 banishes from IP to SP, 2 Omni Negates from the Mitsurugi Trap card / Herald. We have the Yummy Surprise to bounce 2 cards. We have Cookie to set 2 cards, that's 8. And then we have Murakumo, which is a pseudo Omni Negate / rip a card, and Regeki, that's 10. And then we have things like Cookie to pop, that's 11, and then Ash Blossom, that's 12. So they about 12 interruptions here. I'll write it on the screen to show if I missed any. But opponent goes. They reinforcement the army. I let it go through. See, now Droll would have been good here. Get Yummy, and honestly, this was my mistake. That's also what I want to point out. I was a little too hasty to bring out. I should have maybe not summoned Yummy too early, because we were met with a Super Poly. Kinda sucks, but they do discard a card. And then Herald gets us Murakumo, Habikiri. I want to make them discard one, so they're playing with one less card. And they discard something pretty good. Keldo is crazy. So I want to stop there. Fiendsmith, so we are trying to get Yummy cards to the field. We purification that because we can't have that, which plays in my favor because I want to board wipe my opponent right now and have follow up with Yummy. So we can chain block with Mirror. And then Murakumo gets us a prayers and then summon back to pop the field. Now we know what the last card is in their hand. It is the Reinhardt to get ashed. And that was all said and done. We still had over half our interruptions still. So really strong, uninterrupted. Typically that is a end board that you go for in Yami Mitsurugi. So a deck that we're fighting, we're playing against the what is it, the Ga engine, and I thought this was gonna be like a Ga Ryzeal, but it was pure, and I thought it was over. My opening hand is great going first, but going second, I wanted to cry. I believe this was a promo game in one of my diamond games, and when I saw them play this, or not Ga, my bad. I thought, oh my god, it's over. Like, when they cook it uninterrupted, you could kiss the game goodbye. Onomats are strong, yeah. You know what? Sorry, their name is Onomats. I actually really don't know how they play, but watching them cook me made it not feel good. But yeah, they played through this, and the reason I want to highlight this is because without Mitsurugi, this game wouldn't have been successful without them. Again, I'd like to emphasize that Mitsurugi is the reason, like, they give you the strength to push for games and to go second. With pure Yummy, you aren't able to do that as much. So just like watching him cook me, oh my goodness, I thought this is an over game. Reading what they have, I didn't think I have what it takes to break their board. You got all these powerful level 12s. So looking at my opponent's board, don't even know what it does, but what does this do? Detach to summon from the extra deck. Wow. Okay. So they have that. They have Exiton, which can pop the board. This can negate a card, and this can take control of one of my cards. Crazy. So this is a rare case where we actually Yummy first because Mitsurugi is what I want to summon. Our opponent ashes us, which, to our surprise, we already have surprise in our hand. So, easily, we just link to get nothing. I believe they steal this card and negate it. So we Yummy surprise. And they negate that. So this is the true thing. We get Mitsurugi, Mirror, and Habakiri, and they just quit, knowing I was gonna blow up their board and still go full combo on them. That felt really good. So we are fighting a K9 deck. I don't know if it's Vanquish Soul. They Rhoda. And when they Rhoda, you just roll and lock the moment you can. Praying to God does not get negated and it goes through. Usually when I roll and lock Vanquish Soul, they usually cannot play, and I win most of the time, at least in my experience so far. The opponent just burns us, and then links into Rock of Vanquishioneer, and that's it. So first thing that we do while they try to draw a card. We try to bait them by using Aramasa, and it goes through. So we get pre-prep to get Mirror, and another Habakiri. Habakiri gets Saji, Saji gets us Rich Prayers because we have Mirror already. Tributing here, or Murakuma to blow up the board and chain block. Opponent tries to steal a card from us. So, funny thing I do is I try to make them discard a card and I tribute Habakiri. Sorry, Murakumo to stop them from stealing a card, or they'll just steal my Aramasa. Blowing up their board and getting back Prayers and Murakumo. Pretty quick game there. Again, a lot of games are end on turn 1 or 2, and that's the same for Yami Mitsurugi. So, very interesting one we're playing against is a Cyber Dragon K9 deck. Very interesting, but makes sense because they have level 5. But we droll and lock them here. Opponent has Izuna, trying to set up for next turn. But I lead them with an Ash, Imperm. They link into Little Knight and pass. Pretty quick game. We have full combo here. We just Habakiri to get Ash, so we just Prayers to get the Saji. What's good about this too, Saji is 1000 attack. When I normal summon it, I get my ritual as if nothing happened. In addition, I could just link it into Almirage, and then that's an easy, yummy, full combo right there. So it is so useful, it is so strong. It's just free gas right there. But I want to just get Murakumo out as fast as I can to either rip a card from their hand and to stop Little Knight. And chain blocking. Aremasa gets us just a copy of Habakiri, and we get to rip a card from their hand. So in this chain, we rip a card, they banish Murakumo, Aremasa gets us Habakiri, Kusanagi gets us a prayer since we used it already. Linking into Almirage, then Yummy for Yummy Surprise, and then we can just go Yummy Way. Getting Cookie and Marshmallow, discarding, and just going into Sorrow Cat, into Heart Herald. This is just typical combos. And then Lollipo, and this is just enough for game right here. That was really good. Strong draw and lock. Every time I draw and lock K9, I usually win. So we are going second. I believe we're fighting against K9 Vanquish Soul again. Opponent is Bricks. This was my promos game, by the way. I want to let you know I was so happy. I thought I was going to lose, but I knew he's going to have a lot of hand traps because most people are just going to break because of hand traps. They Mulcharmies us. I Ash that, praying they don't have a Maxi, and it goes through. This is promos games, guys. I forgot to mention that. Marshmallow into Yummy. Yummy for the field spell to get Ghost Spelled. So we go into Almirage just to have more bodies, and they nib us pretty good, but because they nibbed us, thankfully we still have Yummy Surprise. We Yummy Surprise for Marshmallow. Marshmallow gets us Surprise. Linking into Link Spider. Link Spider into Yummy Way. Yummy Way into Cookie and Lollipo. And that was really good. Because, again, yeah, without these Link ones like Link Spider, this would not have happened. So Almirage and Link Spider are a must in my opinion. That was my promos game. I was really happy to make Masters this season. Pretty easily, too. The last and final game I wanted to share, and this was in Masters already, is I was fighting against Odion Stun, or just Odion, and they top deck something great with Pot of Duality. They get their field spell, Treasure of the Kings, and they get to play the game. They get the mask, the man with the mark. I imperm that. Oh, sorry, not man with the mark, Moragana. And then they go into Necro Valley. So the reason I love this game and I want to share it off is because this is like the culmination of how to play Yummy Mitsurugi, and to show how you can like basically weave plays regardless of like, you know, a floodgate like this. Knowing I'm gonna have to play through so many interruptions here. We try to bait here with Yummy. Going into Snatchy. Snatchy gets us nothing because they negate it. We normal summon Cookie, lowering its attack. Going into Yummy, hoping it does not get negated, which it goes through. And we discard, I believe, Call by the Grave because Necro Valley is already negating it. We get Surprise. Surprise to bounce these two cards. Negating it, sadly. Normal summon Lollipo. Go into Sorrow Cat. Go into Arclight. And we just normal summon our hand trap for Herald to get Mitsurugi. So at this point, without Mitsurugi, I would not have been able to break this board. We ritual summon here for Murakumo to pop them, knowing I know they don't have any more hand traps or disruption. And we chain block with Saji, and we chain block with Aramasa. Aramasa gets us Habikiri. Saji gets us Mirror to summon, blowing up the board, linking 2-1-2. We go into Little Knight. Little Knight banishes the field spell, and then we just use Habikiri to get Kusanagi and get our ritual back. Then we mirror. Yeah, again, I emphasize, without Mitsurugi, the push would not have been possible. Truly showing why I love the full Mitsurugi package of Kusanagi, Saji, and Aramasa. So mirror goes back to the deck. We get prayers here. We can't attack directly. I should have attacked. That's one thing I should have done, and then I did this, but I wanted to just fully cook and have a full board. So here we had our Omni Negate, Regeki, Pseudo Omni Negate, and full Yummy. So that's like about 8 interruptions. Our opponent has to discard here. Getting their field spell. I let it go through because we're actually gonna pop the field. So they don't have the lingering effect that it can't be destroyed by battle, the man with the mark. And we have follow-up. Getting back our prayers. We pop the board, they field spell, and that's when I negate that. And that's all said and done. Again, without Mitsurugi, I would not have been able to have won this game because of that field spell Necro Valley. So again, truly love the Mitsurugi engine. So this is the deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I truly love Yami Mitsurugi. And yeah, no changes to the deck. However, I just saw the ban list and Habikiri is going down to 2. I'm a little sad about that, but that should not change the deck. It is going to be less consistent. However, we could just add pre-preparation rights to 3 now, which I'm not going to be a fan of because I for some reason I always draw Mitsurugi Mirror in my opening hand or the next draw when I'm going second, turning off pre-preparation rights. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. I'm happy Mitsurugi is still in picture. Like Mitsurugi, I really like mid-tier decks because you could splash it with anything, and there's a lot of diversity with the deck. There, you could play pure Mitsurugi, you could just play Mitsurugi Fiendsmith, you could play Yummy Mitsurugi, you could play Mitsurugi Ryzeal, Mitsurugi K9, Mitsurugi. It is almost endless, and truly why I like it is because of versatility like that. It makes it fresh, in my opinion. So I will link my deck list in the description for Master Duel Meta, just to show you if there's any changes. But yeah, Mitsurugi is gonna go down to 2, and thankfully the deck is still kicking. If it ain't broken, don't fix. I will keep playing Yummy Mitsurugi until another hit gets hit, because there's no way Mitsurugi is gonna stay long. But we have a bunch of yummy ways to play as well, so I'm not that worried because I could just play pure yummy or sulfur core yummy. I'm very interested there, but I'm just investing my gems for the next deck. That's why I am very interested for yummy radiant typhoon. I'll be looking forward to that. But again, what a great season 50 making masters. I'm gonna try to make masters 1, but this is the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was super fun to play. It wasn't that much of a struggle too. I genuinely enjoy Yami Mitsurugi because of its play style and its control and combos. I truly love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed these replays. To maybe you learned something, a thing or two, but truly, again, I love playing these 3. It really helps the deck when you have a combo of the Mitsurugi cards. Because just playing with the one Saji, I could have been in bad waters, but I was able to still push through with things like Kusanagi. So, yeah. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. I'll try to answer as best as I can. But thank you guys so much for this. I truly love it. RuneXYGO out. Thank you guys.